a bomb, in a crowd. So I already
Nuclear.
pressed. Even with my shaking hand, I managed to press it anyway.
live.
So we are trapped
Yes.
in the recording
Yes,
now.
precisely. We are alive. So I will be co-pilot, and the coach is
Me.
yes,
Alice.
Yes.
perfect.
Yes.
And we have a smiley supervisor.
Supervisor.
So,
yes,
yes.
we do.
Okay,
Everyone
let's
is
I'm going to be
smiling.
watching.
let's start, please, guys.
Okay. So, Irene, welcome and thank you for allowing me to coach you today. So, tell me, what do you want to talk about today?
Well, I'm working in a lot of projects,
Mhm.
and I think between 4 to 6 different projects. And I have no time for doing anything else, and I would like to have some more time for myself. And I'm struggling with all these things going on. And I arrive usually in the end of Friday because I take a small pause during the weekend, but not so. It's just an ideal pause, not a very, very pause. And I arrive in the end of Friday completely exhausted, tired, um, happy because I love, our coaching projects and are based on service. So this is something that makes me feel passionate, but um, I'm not following my deadlines, and I would love to be less tired, a little bit more productive, and I'm struggling on prioritizing what it's first, what is second, what is the next, because anytime I have confusion in my days. So
Okay. So, I noticed when we were writing up the description, it said managing time and energy.
yes,
Is that correct?
yes.
So tell me, what exactly do you mean by managing time and energy? Managing.
Well, managing is being capable to organized uh, during the day when I do what. I don't know if it's clear.
Mm-hmm.
I give you an example. I am more a night person than an early morning person. So sometimes I describe myself like depending I'm talking with, or a vampire, depending, because I work better in certain times. For example, in the middle of the afternoon, like this time in my country, that it's about 5. And this is a moment where I'm feeling energized, a good level of energized. Um, and I work very well from 9 to midnight. These 3 hours are, well, my golden time. But it happened right now that instead of being productive during this time, I am not, and I changed completely my my habits, and I'm working during the morning that I am not very productive. During the morning, I need much more to make physical exercise. I used to practice qigong because it make me feel much better if I practice during the morning. And in this time, I'm doing quite the contrary. I'm practicing, for example, qigong after we finish, and in the morning. And so I'm getting a little bit confused. There is this, I don't know what to do in my mind.
Okay. So going back to that time and energy thing, Do you consider them one thing or do you consider them separate? Are they two different things?
That's a good question. Because if I'm considering separate, there is something that doesn't work to me. If I'm considering together, so choosing the right time to do what, it is working much better. For example, I had, a good feeling when I was talking about preparing my courses during these 3 hours in the between 9 to midnight. And so I was considering that maybe I can change my meetings in this time and doing during the afternoon, or because I really need this time to be concentrate for preparing my courses. I have 3 courses that I'm preparing, and I know that this will be the best time, because also what happened to me, if when I'm doing during this time in the evening, I wake up more energized, more creative, and more willing to, you know, yes, less tired than I am now.
So time and energy are one or are they separate?
One,
Okay, describe time to me. How would you describe time?
you know what is strange? The first word came up in my mind was space.
Mm-hmm.
So time is space.
Describe energy.
Light.
So time is space, energy is light. Is time and energy the same thing?
They are, it's not the same, but they are inseparable.
Mm-hmm.
This makes sense for me. I
Mm-hmm.
cannot work without this space and light together.
Can you manage space? Or is it definite?
No, I cannot manage, but I learn how to use it. I can learn how to use it.
Can
How
you
to,
go on? Can you manage light?
honestly, I don't want to manage light. I want to enjoy
So,
light.
so do you want to, you don't really want to manage time and energy then, because energy is light. You want to enjoy it. So maybe time and energy is not what you want to manage. How does a schedule fit into that?
Well, I think I should, no, not should be. I want to be uh, more clear in scheduling based on what I know about my time, space, and energy light. And I'm not doing now. I am, while talking to you, I understand that I was organizing my day based on other people's needs, not mine.
Mm-hmm.
So I need now to focus more on myself and my needs.
And let's go back to time and energy. and look at that schedule with it. Because from knowing you, I know you are a very spiritual person. I know you have positive energy. And I know how you use that time. Time is important to you to share that positive energy. So, do you really have a concern about pop energy and time or schedule?
It's more about schedule that is
Okay.
based on our other people needs, not mine. It's kind that I forget a little bit myself and I prioritize other people needs.
And when you do that, how does it affect your energy?
Well, I feel a little bit drained in energy. And this is maybe why I felt more confused in this period.
Mm, okay. So, how does it look to you if you are managing your schedule, or if you are saying to others, how does your energy look and feel to you when you're managing your schedule?
Well, it feels much better. I feel more calmness
Mhm.
and peace within myself. So I don't, it's kind that I know that I do not need to do more,
Mhm.
but to be more.
And then when you bring time in, because you said that time was light, when you're managing your energy, and does it make everything light? Does it make everything time with space? Does it give you more space to
Yes,
breathe? Does it open you up?
yes. A wider space
Mm-hmm.
and lighter and more luminous and brighter.
Mm-hmm. And does it give you the feeling that you are you? Then you can breathe, that you can do more things if you allow yourself to manage your schedule instead of scheduling other people into your schedule. But
Yes, I have hearing from you. I feel that I have um, more capacity to be more productive with less energy needed. It's kind I can be more and yes, it's there is this more sense of relaxation and alignment. It's like, wow, I'm more centered now.
okay, okay, I'm going to invite my co-coach to come into the conversation and see what
Thank you,
he
Alice.
has to share.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, I have a question, Irene.
Yes.
If you would see yourself in your ideal world, like exactly everything goes exactly as you would like it to go, what is the main thing is different from what you do now and how things are now?
Well, if I see myself in ideal world, I see myself with more clarity on what to do and how to do and when to do. And well, I have a vision precisely when you were asking this question. It's myself I live in countryside, so I have a gardener, a country yard. In my country yard with this bright, dazzling sun on me, and myself close to the trees, because now it's we are going to springtime, towards springtime, and there is a lot, you can see a lot of greens and flowers and some trees blossoming. Well, this is what this metaphor on my ideal world is: a blossoming world,
Beautiful.
a blossoming garden.
I almost smell. What kind of smell do you smell when you are in that garden?
Have you ever smelled the perfume of orange flowers?
Wow.
Or we have now almond flowers, because in the next few weeks we will have the almond fruits, and we have these kind of trees. And we have also, I don't know in English the name of these flowers, but the little yellow flowers. And yes, we have roses too.
No
The
doubt.
perfume of roses.
I bet you're supposed to have roses. And when you are in that garden and when you see yourself surrounded with all that beauty and smells and greens, I'm just curious, are you still managing all those 6 projects at the same time?
Yes.
Wow. And what is exactly different there from what you have now, apart from being in the garden?
That being in the garden and having all these wonderful sensations and perceptions make me feel that I know when I can dedicate a specific moment for this project or another project. It's kind that is nature. The nature is already well organized. A flower knows when is the time to blossom. I think it's what I'm feeling, because it's not that all the projects should be delivered in the same time, but in the garden you have seasonal plants, seasonal projects, let's call it like that. So now it's kind that I know what would be the spring project, the summer project, the autumnal project, and the winter project, because also if in the winter seems that your project can be asleep, or the nature is asleep, but there is this whole energy that is creating the conditions for the springtime.
It seems like authentic natural priority kind of penetrates to your schedule and make it all easy. And
yes.
Okay, so if you look right now at all your 6 projects, what would be your spring project, the one which you really need to focus, because that's a natural thing of development?
Yes, there is the resilience project. and
Okay.
it's a small package course that I'm preparing, and I'm focusing more on this now because
Wow.
I'm well prepared. I have also 2 certification already, and one arrived last month. I didn't know even that I will have this certification, but I had, and I was really happy. And then there is another that is quite contemporary, but we need just to market. It's already ready. And this is also a later springtime because we need just to market. The project is in place. We and so
Thank you, Ren.
then the other one, it will be between summer and autumn.
Mhm. So it sounds like you have no troubles to. I hear that you have no troubles to prioritize it, because that's one of the concerns or things you expressed
Yes.
in the beginning of the session. So I'm giving my driver's seat back to main pilot. So Alice, please take it over.
Thank you, Alex.
Yep.
Irene, now that Alex have taken you into this garden and you've went through the seasons and you're standing there, tell me, is there remember you said time was space and energy was light. Is that correct?
And this is precisely the seasonal prioritizing I was having in my mind, because the way you asked me the question make me go deeper into myself and see all these things connected. I was just, having some ideas but confused. Now I'm gathering together these ideas, and I'm feeling a different energy either.
So as you stand in that garden, is there any limit to space, to time, and to energy?
No.
No. So
No, I
there's
don't see limits. I see just, it's kind of the seasonal stuff, the plants I see, the light I see. It's kind of guidance instead of limits. It's
okay. Okay. So there's no need to manage time or energy. Would
no.
you agree with that?
Yes, I'm feeling much more, as Alex wonderfully stated, with this natural pace and alignment.
Okay. So is there anything else that you would like to talk about, or do you have a feeling now that you can take this and that you can actually start managing your schedule and enjoying and embracing your time and energy?
Yes, I'm feeling that I want to stay with this energy.
Mhm.
I want that the embody this energy and being driven by this energy and awareness that you help me to broad up in my mind and heart and even senses, because I'm feeling the energy.
So, can you think of when you start feeling overwhelmed with your schedule? Do you think you will be able to come back into this space, into that garden, to where it's spring, put spring things at spring, summer, fall, and pull that light and that that time and energy, do you think you will be able to come back to this space?
Yes. And I would love to come back to this space. Yes.
So, is there anything else you would like to talk about, or are you comfortable with us leaving it at this point?
I prefer to live in it at this point.
Okay, well, we will now turn it over to our supervisor to
Wow. Well,
John.
yeah, thank you all. And thank you, Irene, for moving through this process. As an observer, it was so fascinating because if I may share and you talked about the energy, but I was really witnessing this transition of your energy from the beginning of the conversation to where you are now. And it seemed as though there was a tension at the beginning, that feeling you almost talked, of overwhelm. But yet my sense is that there's this calmness, and you even shared, this centeredness
Yes.
that you felt, within this very short period of time. And the other thing that was so fascinating, I love to bring the observations around kind of what happens when people are in this moment. You were looking up so many times up into that space above you, and it almost seemed as though there was a receiving and a connecting of information, but I kept seeing your eyes shift up as you were processing. And it was really lovely because it's a moment where I think then that's where that calming comes in. And I think that's oftentimes where the magic happens, right? When those insights and that awareness begin to take place. And then the magical moment and that shift of being in the garden. And the beautiful thing that you said was nature is organized. Nature is organized. And it just seemed like it just wrapped up everything together. And your ability to then connect the seasons with the projects. It's amazing. And that's what I think when we have this imagery, when we have these moments that we take ourselves out of the task at hand, but look at something that we can really connect with, like nature, it's extremely powerful. It's so powerful. But again, it was just lovely to watch kind of this process of the energy shifting and the kind of calmness and the quietness that came in for you. And even the rhythm of your voice became slower, and it became just very calming as you were thinking and as you were speaking. So I just want to really kind of acknowledge all of that process that took place in 30 minutes, right? The shift from where you started to where you are now, and the questions that both of the coaches asked. So it was lovely. So thank you all for bringing this together and to where you ended today.
Thank you,
Perfect.
John.
Yeah. Perfect. I also found it quite amazing when Irene came with a metaphor. Actually, it's not a metaphor, but it's the way you see your ideal future. But it does sound like a metaphor because of the garden, and yeah, that's really. I also felt like I myself. I'm not super visual kind of type of, but I felt like I'm there. The only piece was missing is smell. So I was curious. That's why I was curious what is there. So I was just trying to complete my picture. Kind of selfish thing to do, but sorry about that. Yeah, and okay, nice, very nice, very nice kind of journey. And I really appreciate Alice and Irene kind of dance together. That's actually very nice.
Thank you, Alex. Well, you were both wonderful coaches.
Thank you.
Okay, so is anything? I think we more or less did. Thank you very much, Irene, for bringing the topic and for being totally kind of immersed into the whole process and really kind of honest with yourself and with us. Yeah, in this case, guys, I would like to probably wrap it up today's session. And thank you all, and see you each other next week, next Tuesday.
Yes. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. So,
Yeah. Bye bye, everyone.
bye.